Well, it's been a considerable while since the last one. There's people that are subbed that don't even know that this series existed since the Jonathan one, probably. Well, let's get into this and break Joseph Joestar down. You beautiful stallion. Joseph Joestar, the second JoJo's in the line of JoJo's that did stuff and got their own part, meaning I'm excluding the previous fathers because they got 86 by evildoers that added on to the plot. Star of Battle Tendency, and one of the most debatable JoJo's because for some reason, it's either you love him or you hate him. And if you ask me, which you're probably not, I'm in between with Joseph because I think that he follows the whole smart but dumb guy prankster type in shonen, so it makes it pretty easy to appeal to, but at the same time, I've already seen that type of character so much. My favorite character in Battle Tendency was the narrator, to be honest. So much power by being inside of the show, but at the same time not being involved in whatsoever besides narrating. But we're not here for my opinions. We're here because you wanted to know how strong Joseph Joestar is. Possibly so you can compare him to the other JoJo's and try to give valid points on how he can quote-unquote beat the other JoJo's, when realistically, he's probably at the bottom of the stand-using food chain. So there's factors on his strength that I have to break down and give their shine. There's actual strength, speed, and durability, with a few extra parts highlighting other things about him. Now first, let's get into strength. In episode 10, which was episode 1 of Battle Tendency, there was Joseph's confrontation of the two cops. With the power of anger, he duffs one of the cops so hard that he left him with broken teeth and a finger through his nose. Now there's factors to when it comes to puncturing because it's not that hard to prick yourself with a needle. Now doing that with a human finger is a whole nother story. Now when Joseph was undergoing training before he actually got to his real training, I thought the show was wrong. Him and Caesar had climbed 78 feet over the course of 60 hours. He held himself up for that long. The Hamon helps, but that all just can't be Hamon. If you want to imagine doing this or actually do this, put your fingers only on a wall or some type of monkey bars or something and just try to stay there for 60 hours. I bet you can't, but don't actually do that because then I'll be worried about you and I don't want you to die or get really hungry and die. This feat alone really puzzles me because how are you able to keep yourself up for so long? I guess it's because I can't do that it puzzles me. Maybe some god over here can do that and blow my mind about that. Look at it, listen to this. They say lions are 20 times stronger than humans, but Mufasa didn't even hang on longer than 5 minutes, and along with that, the way that he's holding onto the wall would be way more difficult than a dead hang. Most fit people peak around 2 minutes of dead hanging, so I'd put his strength at either enhanced strength or peak human strength. I don't believe that his strength at all is supernatural or something because one, in the fight with Wamu, remember how he couldn't draw back that crossbow? That's why I believe that he's at least peak strength because what he has done added up as a whole to that. 2, he couldn't lift up the rock that leveled Caesar, and at least those with tier 1 supernatural strength can lift rocks like that. Now, I'd say that we're pretty much done with strength as a whole. On to durability. This is where I know he's not only stronger than regular men, but he can also take hits better. We're going to be taking a lot from his fights with the Pillarmen. Now, taking a hit from a crossbow, launching an iron ball that couldn't shoot right through him, but at least should have broken some ribs. Along with that, it has to be going pretty fast to loop around a Colosseum that I could compare to at least an original Roman Colosseum, which covered about 6 acres. He also took a Divine Sandstorm a jump away from point blank. Now, a point blank Divine Sandstorm should kill someone pretty easy. We learned that the hard way. Joseph couldn't leap that far from it. I'd say that his jump maxes around from 7 to 10 feet. Even then, the Divine Sandstorm had torn through pillars of solid rock. Now, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but if air that can cut through rock hits a person, they should be well over dead. I'm gonna say anime mechanics saved him because we need Joseph, but the Divine Sandstorm should have killed him because this definitely does not add up. Also, with Joseph's logic, someone else shouldn't have died with that either. But then again, logic doesn't apply here. In the fight with Ultimate Cars, where his Hamon was made to be as strong as the actual sun and struck Joseph's knee, spoiler alert, he doesn't lose that knee. It should have easily melted that knee. Speaking of the fight with Cars, the whole thing is bull. First of all, he pilots a plane with no windshield. How is he breathing? You don't even have a mask that's giving you oxygen, Joseph. Also, in that same plane, he was attacked by piranhas, which I'll give to him for not really dying to them because there's no water and so they shouldn't prosper anyways. After Joseph quote-unquote won the fight, he also falls. Far, very, very far. He survives a fall from the upper atmosphere on a rock. Now, I guess the water has some type of life-saving super armor type of things, just like how in Assassin's Creed you can drop from literally anywhere into a batch of hay and you'll be totally fine. And I understand that if you just dive into water, you should be always fine. But he was on a giant piece of rock that basically belly flopped into water. The impact could have gave him some type of major whiplash or something, I don't know. And I'm not gonna ask any questions, that's it. Just plot armor. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There was also when he was being absorbed by Santana, who dissolves flesh at a cellular level, but we're just gonna go and slide past that. Now for speed, he's a very quick thinker and pretty agile. I'll give him that. If you saw the fight with him in AC/DC, he's a slick little Joestar. Also, let me fix this for people thinking about this. The Space Ripper stinging eyes are not eye lasers. So no, him dodging those does not make him faster than light or something. The SRSE is just vampiric essence, meaning it's a liquid. You can compare this to a gun if a gun shot out water bullets, I guess. Now let's list off everything that Joseph used Hamon on and his Hamon abilities. Hamon Overdrive, Rebuff Overdrive, Zoom Punch, Fizzy Cola Overdrive, Cactus Cannon Overdrive, Ink Noodle Overdrive, Firearm Baseball Bat Overdrive, Hard Head Hair Overdrive, Surprise Pigeon Kiss Overdrive, and Teen Anger Mind Wipe Overdrive. Now, I could get into Stardust Crusaders Joseph, but this is a battle tendency only, and the last notes I had for Joseph were based off of this trickster style of not only fighting but his way of life. It's his "what you'll say next" is a huge staple to what Jojo is, and along with Jotaro's temper, Josuke's hair, Jonathan, and the way that he says unforgivable in that one fight where he said like it was the Sunlight Yellow Overdrive, that was pretty specific, but it's a pretty cool voice line if you listen to it. You can go to Eyes of Heaven and go put that on right there and listen to him say it. It's a really good voice line, I like it. Now, there's not really a known exact reason on how he does this and how he knows what people are going to say next, but I'd say sub to the channel so you can see the video where I do go over this and the information behind it. It's a little theory circulated around what Araki had said. Now, from what we had gotten all together, how strong is Joseph Joestar as a whole? He's a very tactical fighter with definitely above average strength. Enhanced strength can be considered, but not to the point of where he's in the league with those boulder throwers. From results, he can beat anyone that's in the range of humans to beings that can control their shape-shifting abilities into any living entity that's on Earth. So I'd say humans to mythical beings, ranging that, but that doesn't go to the level of gods. If it's pure strength you want, you have to pick Jonathan. If you want literally anything else, you pick the stand using Joestars. But if you want a BS fight that you are sure that your character wins, young Joseph will get them every time, which is complete bull and makes no sense whatsoever. Comment what character you guys want to see next, even though it probably doesn't matter, because if you check out the previous outside of videos, there's one specific character that everyone has already asked me to do, a character that actually had more votes than Joseph. I just prioritized Joseph because look at him. You gonna say no to this guy? Comment if you guys know what the character is, but seriously, you guys can actually write down a character in the Google polls if you want to see featured. You either pick one of the choices or submit your own. Make sure that when you do send in a character, put their franchise in parentheses or brackets. I don't want everyone typing in Raiden and I end up doing Mortal Kombat Raiden when everyone meant Metal Gear. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe and like the video for more of these. That way I know you guys like it so I can keep on making them. But I'm Kaleb IA. Peace out and Godspeed.